As mentioned elsewhere, we spent most of the time in our tutorial videos in the event graph of widget table outer, but this blueprint contains two other graphs that contain extra information.
Here we concentrate on the table editing events and functions graph.
It contains 3 sections, each of which we'll look at in detail. Table editing events and functions targeting the table as a whole are on the left.
We can update fonts, slider bars and slider thumb image, and column dividers. We can reorder the table by column contents or by a parsed array of indices, or simulate button clicks.
We can also adjust our fonts, call directory-related, or other getter functions, for example to retrieve references to table sub-widgets, and, of course, to get a reference to the table widget itself, which is defined in this outer blueprint.
In the middle section, we find editing events and functions that target individual cells.
We can update cell-specific flags for mouse interaction, visibility, showing or hiding an entire block of cells, and use other functions to adjust features of individual cells.
Most importantly, we can update the cell contents at runtime, change its text justification, shift it with the cell render transform, change the font, simulate it being clicked, update text clipping, and call various getters for obtaining other cell-specific information.
Then there's a set of events concerning added cell items. We can add either our own user widgets, or images, query them, update them, or remove them again, in bulk or individually.
And at the bottom you can find some advanced events that use an internal array of stored cells to act upon.
Finally, on the right, we can find the table editing events targeting either rows or columns.
For instance, we can update an entire row with an array of strings you provide, and control whether a row is currently active.
We can also append a new row, insert one, or move it. Or we can retrieve the row date to as a strings array,
update the row names, swap 2 rows, simulate a row being clicked, reverse the order of all rows, or remove a row.
Similar functions are of course provided for columns as well. We can also get a column as a separate widget, or given the column reference, we can retrieve its index.
Moreover, we can obtain its internal variables, its subwidgets, and other properties.
We can also reorder columns by indices, select or unselect them, or get the column contents as a strings array. So there are a large number of table events and functions available to you for table edits at runtime.
Please study them to unlock this plugin's full potential.